Hey everybody, Leah here with your weekly card reading starting Monday the 6th of June 2022. Okay, so the start of the week we have 8 of Raphael and it's partnered with the Dolphin card. This is telling you that there is something, you're being asked to do something differently, that perhaps you've been on a path towards something for a long time and you've known probably for at least a significant amount of time of that it wasn't quite right. It didn't quite turn out how you thought it was going to be. It's not quite bringing you the balance that you want in life or the passion or the fulfillment that you're hoping it would. And it's just as though you are kind of going, all right, you know what? I need to make some changes. This isn't what I thought it was going to be, and I can move on from this and do something differently. So I really do feel like you are bringing your life into, you're wanting to bring your life into balance, to really have all of your needs met. You know, sometimes we make sure our physical needs are met, so we're going to work, we're working really hard, we're making the money, we're paying all the bills, but then we don't have that, you know, that love or that fun or that joy in our life. And so it's kind of like, well, what is the point really? Without that, you need all of it. So you need to be able to support yourself and look after your physical needs, but you need to balance that out with enjoying your life and loving your life and just being who you are and thriving in that. Don't just exist, but thrive. With the Dolphin card there, it's don't worry, be happy. So it is really looking at, okay, what do I actually need to do? What is important right now? What has to happen in order for my physical needs to be met and for me to fulfill my duties? You know, you can't just, you know, not show up to work and things like that. Like, you have to fulfill your responsibilities in life. But it's okay, well then, you know, on the weekend, then I'm going to go and take a big bushwalk in nature, or you know, I'm going to go to the movies with my friends, or I'm going to cook really healthy meals for the week, so I'm really nurturing myself that way. So it's really looking at what you can do and not stressing about it, but making this fun, making it joyful, making it lift your spirit and your soul and your vibration, because if you can do that, then everything else kind of follows and falls into place. And I really feel like you're doing this because in the middle of the week, you have the card of new beginnings here. Now we have the 7 deadly sins here. So whenever we turn over a new leaf and we do we, you know, make a good positive change in our life, a test will happen to see, well, have you really done that? Or are you just going to fall back into those old ways of being at the first opportunity? And so I think this 7 deadly sins card is just here as a bit of a reminder of, you know, how do you usually self-sabotage? You know, do you cut back a bit with work, but then you start, you know, you might leave work on time, but then you bring work home with you to get it done. So you're not really leaving work on time, you're just doing it somewhere else. You know, it might be that you start doing this healthy cooking and this food prep and making this, you know, being healthier and really supporting and nurturing your body. But then when you get to day 3, you go, you know what? I'm tired, I'm, you know, hungry, I'm over it. And you go and get the junk food and start, you know, delving into that. So have a look at the 7 deadly sins, see which ones kind of resonate for you, and you'll know, you'll just go, oh yeah, okay, that's me. And put plans in place. How are you going to stop those from being a problem? And you have full power over yourself and what you do and your actions and your behaviors. So if you can identify what is going to sabotage you, then you can most certainly put things in place so that doesn't happen. Now at the end of the week, we have the Ace of Raphael and we have the Friendship card. So this is a new emotional experience. It's positive, it's fulfilling, quite possibly it's romantic for some of you. But this feels very much like a sort of a soulmate connection, so it can be friendship groups. But with this nurture your relationships, you're being really asked to make sure you're looking after each of these relationships in your life. So this can be your partner, it can be your children, it can be your parents, it can be your friendship groups, any relationships in your life that are important to you. Just take a moment to really stop and work out what they are, because sometimes the most important ones are the ones we kind of take for granted and just assume they'll always tick along, but we might not realize that the other half of those might be sort of starting to feel like, well, I'm not really getting what I need out of this, it's not really working, and they might be starting to step away and you're not seeing it. So really just be mindful of that. Really look at who in my life is really important to me, which relationships do I value the most, and am I giving to each of those in a way that they know that they are important to me. So really looking at that as you go through the weekend, and let people know that you do love them. If you haven't caught up with a good friend for a long time because life is just so busy and hectic, give them a call or say, hey, let's go out for a coffee. Just find those ways to really nurture that. If it's that you haven't had a lot of quality time with your kids because you're so busy working and putting a roof over their heads and providing for them, but you don't sort of get that fun with them, then maybe it's just going, hey, look, we're going to go out for lunch on whatever day, and we're going to do this, we're going to sit down and watch a movie together, or so it's just making that time for the people in your life who are really important to you and making sure that they know that they are, because sometimes we take things for granted and it's not until we're on the verge of losing them that we realize that and then try and fix it. But sometimes it's difficult to bring it back. It is much better to recognize their importance and commit to that and balance everything in our lives out so that everything works and everyone knows their place and knows their value in it. And that goes for you as well. If you have relationships or friendship groups that you're always giving and giving and giving, you don't get a great deal back, it might be that over the weekend you're going, actually, you know what, I'm going to take a step back from that now, because that's actually not, it's not really serving anything good for me. So just being aware of that. Bottom of the deck we have Queen of Ariel. So this is, again, a reminder to nurture yourself and those you love. It's exactly what we've been saying. Really committing to that this week. It's really, really important. So please, if you do nothing else, really be aware of that, because it is coming up really strongly. We have the Face Your Fears card on the bottom of the deck as well. Sometimes we hold ourselves back, or we'll stop ourselves from going on this new beginning, or, with that new path, because it's just easier to stay where we are because we don't know the outcome of the other. Whereas we know where we are now. It may not be completely fulfilling, but it's safe and we know what it is. So you're really being asked to find any fears that come up for you that are holding you back, that are stopping you from giving, that are protecting your heart perhaps. Face those this week. And, there's so many tools at your disposal to do this work with. So do tapping or journaling. There's a lot you can use. But find those and address them, because I think they are going to be influencing how your weekend plays out. The card from my healing cards for this week is the card of movement. So again, looking after your body. This is you might want to put music on and dance. You might want to go out in nature and walk. It might be that you start a new yoga practice or some kind of fitness regime that goes with, if you were a healthy eating person, then doing that. But moving your body, because when we don't move, and if we're spending a lot of time sitting at a work desk, we come home, we sit on the couch of a night because you're so tired to do anything else, you go to bed, you get up, you do it all again. All of that energy starts to get stagnant in your body, and that is where you start to feel aches and pains and your life starts to feel a bit stuck. So movement is the best way to get that energy moving through your body, getting rid of things that you don't need in your life and processing stuff. And so everything starts to flow better. Your body moves easily, and you'll notice that your life starts to flow better as well. The affirmation card for this week is Freedom Through Faith. And it says, I calm my thoughts and rise above fear. I free myself of all doubt by entrusting my doubts to God, and God, angels, yourself, your intuition, your inner being, whatever that means for you. I have faith in God's perfect timing and placement. I trust his will and I find freedom. And your oil for this week is the oil of magnolia, which is the oil of compassion. So finding that feminine energy that is nurturing and loving and understanding, bringing that into everything you do this week will make all of this go so much better. But I really feel like while there's stuff to work through this week, you have that new beginning there, you have this new path, you have this new emotional experience. Like, this is actually really, really good. So, but you're going to have to put in some work to get there. Have a fantastic week. I'll see you next week. Bye.